the team of the festival wanted to get you all on the same page to talk about your films and promote your films. So we're going to start very easily. So, Emily, you're muted.
I'm sorry.
You're back. Good.
I decided to start barking at the same time.
Daniel,
Yeah,
Daniel, we're going to start with you. Tell us
go ahead.
who you are and your background, Daniel.
Yeah, hi, I'm Daniel Jewell. I'm a filmmaker from London. I started out in documentaries. So I used to make documentaries for Channel 4, and then Al Gore had a TV channel called Current TV. And I made a lot of documentaries in London's kind of Arabic community where I lived around Edgware Road in London. And that's kind of been the inspiration for this film, which is a thriller set in and around Edgware Road about gentrification and how kind of big developers are coming into the area and, in my view, taking something kind of special that makes London so interesting. We've got these really varied areas.
Don't go too far.
Anyway, there you go.
I'm cutting you off because this is going to be the next question, okay?
Okay, perfect.
Don't reveal everything right away. Keep some.
Perfect.
Thank you. April, same question. A little bit about you and your background so we get to know you.
Yeah, sure. Kia ora from New Zealand. I am one of New Zealand's most licensed playwrights, and I've been writing plays for the stage for about 25 years. And then I did my master's degree in script writing in 2010. And since then, my focus has been on film. So The Last Man on Earth is my 5th short film.
Okay. That's good. Attila, what about you? From Nebraska.
I'm in Nebraska right now. So I'm a San Francisco-based writer-director, actually a teacher right now. I teach at a college of film production, and originally from Hungary, from Europe, and I've been living in the United States now for like a good 15 years, 12 years. Yep.
And the film?
And the film is The Shepherds of Cat Island, and we did shoot the film about a year and a half ago in California, in Napa Valley, and it's a true story based on a government project in 1942-43.
Okay. Same. I'm cutting you off so you have some more stuff to say after that.
Thank you.
Girls, Emily and Mary.
Hi, I'm Emily. I'm the writer-director. This is Mary Cameron.
Hello.
She's the lead actress, and we're actually right now on location because we're getting ready to shoot the feature film of River. So we're really excited. So we're in North Carolina. I've been a writer, director, and cinematographer for the last 15 years. And I've lost count with how many shorts I've done, but we started River as a FaceTime project. And that when the band's lifted in North Carolina, we shot the short film in May for 2 days. And then the investors loved what we did so much, they financed the feature film. And here we are. Wow. Getting ready to do all of that. So that's where we are right now. So
that's going to be so easy for me to get to us at the next question. That's going to be so cool. Okay, back to you, Daniel.
Sure.
When I watched the film, it was kind of a long time ago now, and I saw the title, London, Arabia. I was expecting something totally different. I don't know why, but the title kind of led my imagination to something else. And when I watched the film, I felt like brand new because the movie took me by surprise. I found it very elegant, kind of dark in some ways, but still with a very kind of happy ending with hope. Let's say there's a lot of hope. Can you pitch a little bit this time the movie and the story?
Yeah, well, look, thank you so much. That's such, lovely things to hear. But basically, I guess in simple terms, it's kind of a David and Goliath story where, Edgware Road is an area where Arabic people have been coming to since the 1970s, and it's kind of a home from home. So you see all these cafes and shisha cafes and restaurants, and it's this lovely community. And in real life and my movie, all these big building developments and chain stores and luxury apartments are coming in to try and force them out. And in my movie, they decide that, we have the skills within our community because back home we were lawyers and accountants and doctors and, computer experts, and we're going to fight back for our newfound home in London. So for me, as a Londoner and as someone who lives in the area, it's just about, you know, this is what makes my city special. Areas like Soho, Edgware Road, and you know, you could say the same for New York or Toronto or LA. Like, if you cut out all these special areas that are unique, then you kind of lose the soul of your city. So our movie's about, you know, the fight for the soul of London.
And that's so true for London, because it's such a, can you say cosmopolitan? It's very diverse, and that's
so multicultural, and it's
very
fantastic.
Multicultural. Cool. Thank you for that. April, April, kind of the same question here. Not same question. The Last Man on Earth. So you kind of know right from the title that it's going to be kind of a post-apocalyptic movie. And what's interesting about it, it's a female lead, a strong female lead, and she's almost in every shot of the film.
Yeah, she is.
Everything revolves kind of around her. I mean, the narrative is around her. So was it something you wanted to do, or can you tell me about it?
Yeah, well, my favorite movie of all time is Alien, which of course has a major female protagonist and a really kick-ass role. It kind of came out of that really common expression, not if you were the last man on earth. And as a female, I wondered, if I was the last woman on earth,
what would you do?
Who is the last man on earth I would want to be alone with? And so this thriller came out of that expression. What I had no idea, of course, was that this post-apocalyptic thriller set in the aftermath of a global pandemic, that within months of completing the film, I'd be using the props. You know, we had the face masks. Our pandemic was the result of a virus that was human created, wiped out the whole population. And we created this post-apocalyptic, abandoned, isolated world. So it's been a little bit surreal that we went from filming kind of into the real thing. Very, very strange. We had our art department, we had posters that said "Stop the Spread" and that sort of thing. So
all the props you can see in the film. When you I rewatched every of your film this morning, and when yours, I mean, it's kind of freaking me out, because it's like, okay, they didn't know when they shot the film that was going to be so actual. When
it freaks me out too.
Sci-fi movie today, it's freaking out. Okay, thank you for that. Attila, you're in a kind of a special position for us, because you submitted the script. Was it 2 years ago or last year? 2 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
And you won Best Short Script at the Paris Art and Movie Awards 2 years ago. And
I believe that helped a lot to make this film in the first place, because I don't know. So you can. I'm sorry. Like, I can just go on then.
It's you submitted the script, and this is the first time we have a script, and then the guy actually shoots the film, and we get to see the film 2 years after that.
Yeah.
And you could tell from the script it was intense, but the way you guys and you directed it, I'm just going to say one thing. It's a one long shot with a lot of military people, an incredible set, dogs, and even if it's slow paced, there's a lot of intensity to it. And go for it.
So the film was accidentally happened because I was working on a feature screenplay about the internment in California, and accidentally I bumped into this small story, this hidden story. I'm saying hidden because it was probably hidden by the government, that they did this despicable project. They recruited 26 Japanese American soldiers from Wisconsin in 1942. They shipped them down to Mississippi, the Gulfport, Mississippi, and they used them for dog baits. They didn't know that was they were doing. And the theory was behind it that they smell different from white Caucasian people. And they had this idea to train 30,000 dogs for the Army for the Pacific. Now, it was mind-blowing. And I reached out to a bunch of Japanese American communities, and nobody heard about it. So that was something stinky over there right away. Like, wow. This is a great story. So we wrote the screenplay, but if you really dig into what happened, you have very little documents. So I talked to all the people are gone, of course. And I talked to the granddaughters and interviewed a bunch of people.
The
so we
descendants.
did the script. With the script, it takes place in Mississippi, and it's why it's very slow paced. One, because, you know, we are in the South, and then not much is happening there. It's like pretty much nothing happening there beside you being used as a dog bait. Yeah. So it was difficult to put it together. But yeah, I ended up like voting for the idea that let's go for the one long take. So we saturate everything, what happened in 4 months in 10 minutes, and then trying to kind of like give this atmosphere, the feel, the indifference of the army, the US government. And, you know, it's mind blowing also, like it's just the other speaker just mentioned how relevant these shorts can be later. When we started, had no idea what a turmoil this country going to go through, right? And then we are here, like we talk about racial indifference and like prejudice and crazy in the United States. And that's the story about, 70 people, cast and crew, and like 15 dogs, you know, and then we have boats in the film and comes. So like the whole thing was one choreographed this way. But again, just want to mention you guys because, you know, that happened, that it should be this way. That if a festival picks up a screenplay, that would be amazing if you screen a film, because to be honest, that film, you know, once we put the stamp on it that, you know, Paris, you know, like recognized us, recognized the idea, recognized the film, people started to sign up. So it was so much easier for me to sit down with people and convince them and da-da-da. So huge thank for you. Without you guys, it would not be a film. And now we screening in. Yeah, we're screening a bunch of places, and it's really amazing that it's happened. And I was secretly hope that, oh my God, if you're not going to get selected in Paris, I'm going to be heartbroken because it's not going to be right. It's not going to be right thing. You know,
we did not select the film because you had the script before. We selected the film because the film is good. Simple as that. And the fact that you've been winning the screenplay before is just kind of the cherry on top. And we have a longer story to tell. So we love that. But the movie just deserves it. We have a lot of good movies this year, and everybody here included.
Thank you again.
Emily, you're back on mute. Okay, good. Good. You seem very used to it. I like it. It's cool. I know I'm not going to talk about the feature film yet. I would like to talk about the fact that you shot during the pandemic, and you had a limited crew, and you respected all the social distancing and everything. Can you tell us a little bit how real that was from your standpoint as the director? And then Mary Cameron, same question for you. How did you approach that as an actor? Does it help? Is it challenging and everything?
Absolutely. It was, you know, safety obviously was first and foremost the top of the priority of making any project. And it was a very small crew. There was literally 7 of us total, including our 2 talent, which is Mary and her co-star, Alexandra Rose. And literally, we shot right here in her backyard, which you'll see is it's a forest. And so we really did everything that was local to her. So we weren't cross-contaminating things. We knew who was going in and out of these places. We all got COVID tested before we started filming. I drove from Florida to North Carolina so that I didn't fly during that time because May was it was still very fresh. Like, the ban was lifting. People can go back to sort of not really normal things, but we were able to start going to work and that sort of thing. And so we were able to do that.
You were smart about it. You found logical and good sense solutions to make the film.
So we had to do that. You know, I also was a cinematographer and director. And then I had our sound operator, who's also local here too, who was tested as well. My brother and his girlfriend, they drove with me and they helped be the grips because they've been working with me for 15 years too. My brother knows the deal. Like he knows when it's a really small crew and I don't really want to bring other people in that I don't know that well. Like there's like, if they were really being safe during that time.
Especially in that situation when we were self-isolating and everything.
Exactly. So I really trusted them to come with me and be able to like help set up the lights at night because everything was natural lighting. The entire film was all natural lighting. I really I bent the light so that we were able to do things. I wanted a very natural feel because it's a psychological sci-fi thriller. So I wanted to feel like we're really connected with River and her journey. And I felt like making it really natural feeling was the direction I wanted to go. But obviously at night in a forest, you do need a moonlight, kind of coming through the woods. We couldn't, do that without light. But no, that's how I approached it. Safety first and foremost, very tight crew. Obviously we had our masks as well. In the forest, it didn't look like it, but we were actually about 6 feet apart where we stationed ourselves. So I was able to have my mask down and like film certain things because it was hard to breathe with smoke coming in my face. You know?
The takeaway is it is possible.
It is absolutely possible. Safety, you know, get those tests in, make sure you trust your crew and that everyone's willing to be safe. And that's all you can do is like, you know, pray to the film gods that, you know, like that it's going to come out, you know, but.
What about you, Mary?
Mary, go ahead.
As an actress, it was, I mean, the whole thing as us as a whole coming into this was all around respect. Do we respect our other people that we're working with? And I found that we were very lucky to find those people that respected the safety of everybody and themselves. So that's really important. And since it was such a small crew, as an actress, I found myself helping in other ways on behind the camera as well. So we could like make the best of what we were going to make at that time. And we did it in 2 days. Yeah. So it was like, let's do this, but do it appropriate and protecting ourselves. You know, and especially with everyone else getting near people and like going over our rehearsals, we were all masked and we were together. But yeah, I mean, it was just so interesting how going from being, you know, up close and personal with someone and like going through the scenes to being a distance. And with my co-star, Alex, she's amazing. And when we did the rehearsals separate, but when we shot on film, we were very, we were connected and comfortable because we had done those rehearsals, even with the safety, you know, requirements.
So that helps to create a bound. Even with the rules around it.
It's so different, but honestly, at the same time, if you guys are all on the same wavelength, we just make it happen together. And I think that's so important to have in crew and everybody around you that you're filming with.
Okay, I love it. I love it.
Yeah.
Daniel, let's talk a little bit about the cast and the main actor and actress you have on the film. Tell us about them and who they are. I'm leaving you to it to present that.
Oh, thanks so much. Well, we had Naveed Negaban, who you might know as Abu Nazir in Homeland. He was also he played the Sultan in Disney's Aladdin, and he's in a new Apple TV show called Tehran that's coming out shortly. So he's just an incredible actor, and he's now going to be one of the producers on the feature film that we're going to make from this. And you know, he wasn't just an actor. I guess like the other actors were saying about how she worked on her film. He was the same. You know, he would make suggestions about production design, and you know, he kind of got his hands dirty. And even though he's in big, you know, streamer shows and Hollywood movies, he's just very grounded, down to earth guy. So I had the best experience. You know, I count him as a friend now. We also had Mojan Mano, who's in Rami, The Blacklist. I hadn't worked with her before. She was just incredible. She's one of these people, you can put the camera on her and you can read her thoughts. So when there's no dialogue.
They give a lot.
Yeah, she's just, I mean, I can't take any credit for that. She just has that naturally. And in the rushes, you go, oh, wow, I can hold on her for this much time. And it's interesting, you know? So overall, I was thrilled with our cast. It's kind of an ensemble cast.
It is.
And we had a lovely vibe there, so it was a pleasure to make.
How did you how did you manage to get Naveed on board?
Well, it was one of these weird things that I was thinking of him for the role. My DOP was on the Eurostar, and he bumped into him and said, "Oh, you should think about this guy, right?" And then my exec producer in London, I met with him, and he goes, "Oh, I'm good friends with Naveed. Have you thought about him?" So I had it from like 3 different angles. And
was it meant to happen?
Yeah, it was meant to happen. We met for coffee. I didn't think he'd say yes to the short. I thought I will try and hook him to the feature and then get him to the short. But he said yes straight away off one coffee in London. So it was amazing. And then he brought some of the other cast in as well because he was friends with them.
Once you have one, you're going to have more because it's building trust. It's amazing because you'll see during the festival, this year we have a few people, several people just like you who managed to get some name cast into short films.
Yeah.
In always it's done in a human way. It's done because these people are interested in a short film or a feature. They just want to make something happen.
Yeah, or they connect with the material in some way. You know,
they connect to the
just chimes for them.
material. In some ways, I'm pretty sure he connected with you. If not, he wouldn't have done it. So these stories, we are very happy to hear in a festival.
Thank you.
April, usually a post-apocalyptic movie is very dark. It's gritty. You get dust, a lot of black. Yours, there is a lot of color into it. I'm talking about the costumes, the makeup, even the vibe of the actress. Did you want to do something different? Did you want to create your own stuff, even within the genre?
Yeah, I think so. Like you say, it is, the genre has a typical look and it's what everybody expects. But with everything I create, there's always a twist in the tale. And in this particular short film, although it's a sci-fi thriller in a post-apocalyptic setting, it's not just a sci-fi thriller. I wanted to make, I guess, a personal statement about what makes a human being worthy of survival, and in particular the value of people with disabilities. Yeah, and so I did want it to look a little bit different, and my cinematographer Matt Sharp does an amazing job. He's got such a fantastic eye, and colour for him is, he just creates the most gorgeous things on screen. So of course I wanted to, you know, capitalize on that. And because my story is a little bit different, because I've got this message about what makes a human being worthy, I'm very, very proud to have an actor who has Down syndrome in the, it's a little bit of a spoiler because I don't really mention him.
It is.
But he's absolutely brilliant, and he defies those negative expectations that, you know, society tends to have around people with especially neurodiversity, by being in this film. And he's actually picked up 2 Best Supporting Actor awards so far. So that's something I'm really, really proud of, that it's not just a screamer, you know, sci-fi thriller.
He deserved it because, again, he brings something to the screen in terms of intensity. It's not just, let's say it's not just a disabled people cast because he's disabled. He really acts, and he really does the job just like anybody else. And that's one of the reasons we love the movie. We have a partnership with Disability Film Challenge, and we have this year 3 or 4 films from that group, and we want to promote that, and we want to support them. So your film goes down that road, and we love it. So thank you for that. That's cool.
Thank you.
Mary and Emily, tell me a little bit about the feature film. So you are shooting the feature film right now?
We are next week. This coming week now, Tuesday.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you shot in May, that's it? You shot the short film back in May, and now we are September 5th. Taping today, September 5th, and you already are 1 week ahead of shooting the feature film. So you got skills to put together a project, I guess.
Yeah. I mean, you know, I'm just blown away, to be honest, the love that River has been getting. You know, we've won over 15 awards so far.
So many festivals.
So many. And then we've been, we're in 25 festivals, but I'm really excited to be in Paris, of course, because I love what you guys put out. You know, you guys have really great content, and I'm not just saying that. So, you know, I was very specific with who I was, you know, submitting to. And, you know, I was like, oh, we're going to go so hard. We're going to do the festivals, blah, 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 you know. And then the investors were just like, literally in July, they're like, have you thought about a feature? And I'm like, yeah, you know, I have the script, because this has been a concept for the last 8 years that I've played with. I wrote it as a book first, and then I adapted it into a short film so that we could do that in May. But we shot the first 2 minutes of it over FaceTime when she was still in LA to kind of see what the response would be. And people were freaking out about it. They're like, we need more of this. So I'm like, well, maybe we got something. And then she came to North Carolina and we're like, you're too close, you know, like, let's do this. So we bit the bullet and did it. And the investors literally like, we want to do this as a feature film. We think it has so much potential. And so we signed contracts. They wired the money the same day. And I did not, that was the first time I didn't have to go out and be like, give me money, you know, like, make my movie, you know?
I mean, that's not typical at all. That's kind of a dream.
No, not.
But it started from a place of fun. And we were doing this just because, you know, we're in a pandemic and we were in our house and we wanted to, and all of you understand this, like it's our passion. And we just had fun doing this silly thing over FaceTime.
It was like her fiance was holding the laptop so I can get the shots. And, you know, it went from just something simple as just, we want to be creative during this time to like people that believed in what we were doing and saw how much passion and love we were bringing. And the same thing with the feature. We have a very tight crew. There's only 24 people total, and we get tested daily. We have to go through, we have to submit our test results pretty much every 2 days. And, you know, anyone that gets off a plane, they go and get tested immediately. There's a place that has 15-minute turnaround.
Are you going to have a COVID compliance person?
Yeah, we have an officer. You have to. It's a nurse. She's trained, and she was actually provided by the state of North Carolina, like the Film Commission office. So you have to follow. It is crazy. So we've prepped for like the last month to get us ready for here. But, you know, we're super excited. How I wrote the script was I contained it very much. So there's only like 6 locations. And they're friends of ours that we know these people. And so we were able to really make sure where we're going is safe, but yet the production value is all there. It's funny that, April, you love Alien. Alien really inspired as well, like River. So I actually rented the James Cameron K-35s that he used on Alien. And because I love like the tone that the K-35 cannons like really bring out. And that's what we shot with on the short. So I'm really happy to be using them again for the feature because no one's really using them right now. This is also my feature film directorial debut. So I'm really excited to kind of, I did not expect that. You know, I've directed pilots. I've directed like, you know, docuseries, like talking about like 14 episodes of a docuseries, but this was like my dream to tell sci-fi and to, you know, do it this way. It's just super amazing to do it with Mary. We've been on a journey 7 years together, ups and downs. And so
it's an amazing story. Really. It's, all the good things that can happen from making a film. It's all
we can ask for.
It's great.
You know?
Yeah. Guys, we're going to wrap this up. So we are September 5th. For those who watch, this roundtable has been taped. So each of you guys and girls, we're going to have a social media marathon 2 days before the festival. So we may send you an email to offer you to be live on social media if you want to keep promoting the film, because I feel we could be going on for another half hour if we had to. So we want to hear your stories. We want to hear more about your film. And of course, we're a film festival, so we want to promote the films, okay? So if you want and if you're available, we're going to send you the dates so you can come to the YouTube and Facebook live streaming we're going to do mid-September, okay?
That's awesome.
Cool. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
It's so nice to chat to other filmmakers. You know, we're all in our little bubbles, and it's nice to just connect with like-minded people. It's really, it's very healthy and nice. So thank you.
It is healthy.
And the energy is so positive and nice too. So it's nice to see that creativity is still alive. Thank you so much for having us.
I want to see all the movies now.
Me too.
Me too.
Again, we're gonna. This is gonna sound strange for the people who are gonna watch it mid-September, but we're gonna send you the link for the tickets and everything. You're gonna receive all that. I received some very good news yesterday, so you're gonna have all the information very soon in your mailbox.
Brilliant.
Thank you guys.
Much.
I got to slide to another taping, so I really got to go.
Nice to meet everyone.
Nice to meet everybody. Good luck.
Bye, guys.
Bye, guys.
Bye-bye. À bientôt.